can imagine it's been a very difficult time for all of us. But we move on as we always do. We're here to stay and we're survivors.
And also I'd like to congratulate Janet and the team for putting this great show. This is the 12th festival, I believe, and I think I've been observing that each year it has been growing and always getting better.
How many more families might still be living contentedly in their homes in Syria, in Afghanistan, in Iraq, in Israel, in Palestine? One of our greatest evolutionary failings is how difficult we continue to find it to settle our differences amicably.
So thank you and enjoy the next 4 days. See you.
The theme is 17,000 Islands of Imagination, which of course is telling you that it's focusing on Indonesia. So we're really showcasing Indonesia. We've tried to include writers from as many different islands as possible. And again, we're featuring a lot of Indonesian work. I think we have the largest amount of Indonesians in the program ever. And it's not just writing, it's music and film as well.
All right, and about this year's particular challenge with the restriction from the government, can you tell us a little bit like how you feel about it and how you overcame it?
Well, of course, I think it's very distressing for a festival to be censored because, as I wrote, literature and censorship or writing and censorship, they just don't go together, because we need to be able to make sense of the world around us, and if we can't do that within a certain framework, it doesn't work. But either way, you can't stop people writing and you can't stop people talking. So even with these distressing sort of censorship rules, I think in fact it's made the world more aware than ever before of the 65 issue, because you can't hide something like that. It's trying to hide an elephant.
Karena kalau emang ada orang yang bisa bikin kopi paling enak di Jakarta ataupun di Indonesia, ya orang itu pasti gue.
Hi, I am Jenny Jusuf. I'm the writer of Philosophy Copy Movie, screenwriter, which recently won the award, Commendable Scriptwriter at Festival Film Bandung 2015. So glad to be here with you guys. Philosophy Copy Movie is basically a movie about love, friendship, relationship between father and sons, and in general, love for coffee.
This being your first movie, how do you think it has affected you, or what does this movie mean to you personally, and how has it affected you in your professional career as a writer?
It hugely affected my professional career as a writer because I got so many exposure from this movie, and it was great. For example, here I am at Ubud Writers Readers Festival. It's been an honor, and then this movie heavily impacted my personal life as well because one of the subplot is about relationship between father and sons, and I use it as a way as a therapy for myself because I had a little troubled past troubled story in my past with my own father. So this movie gives me a new perspective because not only I have to write from the perspective of the sons, but I have to write also from the perspective of the parents. When I wrote it, I was like, I've never thought about it before. Yeah, it heals.
Oh, I like to stand up straight in the edge of the cliff.
Gantungkan hati di atas awan hitam. Bandung. Berhari-hari tak tersentuh harapan, jauh sudah hembusan angin rindu, semakin jauh kala hati kian menderu, lepaskan lana yang mengganggu. Jika bermimpi merangkai kata-kata.
Beta berpikir nih bawa anak-anak ke Jakarta nih bisa bikin beta kembali merasa berharga.
Saya punya pengalaman tahun 1999 pada saat konflik Maluku terjadi.
I have an experience in 1999 when the conflict started in Maluku.
Di ujung tahun 99 mau masuk ke tahun 2000.
So the akhir tahun, at the end of 1999 going into the year 2000.
Ya, saya melihat propaganda media semakin besar terhadap konflik yang terjadi di Maluku.
I saw a lot of propaganda in the media about the conflict in Maluku.
Dan saya memutuskan untuk melihatnya sendiri langsung.
I decided to go by myself to see what was going on.
Konflik yang terjadi hampir 5 tahun.
The conflict lasted 5 years.
Membuat keinginan tahuan saya besar sekali untuk kembali dan melihat secara langsung apa yang terjadi di Maluku.
Made me really want to go to Maluku and see for myself what was going on.
Awalnya ada ketakutan. Kenapa? Karena orang-orang bilang, bagaimana kalau ini sesuatu yang bisa mengungkit luka lama?
Okay, so at first when we started with this film, people were saying, you know, what happens if you're opening the wound of the conflict? I mean, you guys are going to go ahead and do this, you're just opening up a wound.
Tapi itu kemudian kita yakini sebagai sesuatu yang tidak terjadi, dan sampai film ini sudah 1 tahun lewat, itu tidak pernah terjadi ada peristiwa apapun karena film ini dibuat. Kenapa? Karena di dalam cerita film ini sendiri kita tidak sedang bicara tentang siapa yang benar dan siapa yang salah, tapi bahwa keadaan ketika konflik itu terjadi dan ada korban harus tetap menjalankan hidupnya. Orang-orang Maluku harus tetap bertahan, dan mereka bertahan lewat cara hidup mereka.
So when the film was playing for a year, it actually did not happen. The conflict, it didn't cause more conflict. People were worried about, and we were also afraid of that. Why did that not happen? Is because of the fact that when the conflict was happening and after the conflict, people still had to survive. They had to figure out ways to survive. So that's where their emphasis was.
Well, I always believe the journey of a writer is the journey to find his or her own voice. The specific and very unique voice that separates us from other writers. So in order to find that voice, well, in my point of view, is to have many idols. If you only have one idol, you will somewhat become his or her style. But when you have so many idols and writers, you subconsciously mixing it up, their style, to be your own. So it's very important, me as a comedy writer, to study the style of other writers and comedians.
All right, so can you tell us a little bit about the book that just has been launched?
Okay, yeah, this is a book about the pearling industry or the pearl shell industry. So I'll just show here at the front. Most people think about just the pearls as objects, but pearl shell actually used to be a very, very valuable commodity and people would make fortunes from it. So we've looked at one side of the story of pearling, which is how thousands of Indonesians came to northern Australia in the period particularly around the 1920s and 1930s, but back at the end of the 19th century and up until the 1970s, there are all these Indonesians coming. But also we found stories of Australians going to live in Indonesia, which has been part of a new dimension of the story.
All right, so how do you feel about the fact of being a co-writer of this book that happens to reveal so many historical facts that were missed by many?
Yeah, no, this has been quite a wonderful thing, and I think part of my mission, I guess, which is important for people who do history, is to really try to provide new understanding. So my co-author, Julia Martinez, and I, through going through the archives, have found all of this new material, and we hope that both Australians and Indonesians will get a deeper mutual appreciation from this kind of material.
This is what I wanted.
I am beautiful because I am 5 feet small, and for everything else there are 5-inch heels. I am beautiful because I know songs from every decade since the 1930s in 2 languages, and I can almost always sing along accurately. I am beautiful because I read Tolstoy for fun and Cosmo when I mean business. I am beautiful because I am the crazy curled girl child moving to the percussion beat of her own spirit like a maniac.
I swear he had these big, broad, bare hands in which I thought the universe could sit, and all the pressure it bore could be compressed and harnessed to turn my saltwater childhood into shore-breaking emeralds.
I like my wine like I like my unspoken past. Buried deep 50 years underneath the layer of legitimacy that would prompt nobody to question the intimacy that was so racy between Stacy and Budi, who planted seeds to create one of the most mysterious wine ever created. The 1965 Indonesian vintage Cabernet Sauvignon is rare, bitter, and at the same time it comes with an extra hush-hush. It's a red wine.
Warna-warni kita menjadi satu. Warna-warni kita menjadi satu di dalam rahimmu. Busur hujan di cakrawala, manusia titipkan mimpinya di sana. Busur hujan di cakrawala, ada harta di kakinya menunggu di sana. Ku kembangkan layarku, arungi samudra moyangku, kan ku hunjam sauku.